clearly this is an act of international altruism, but do you think there is an element of political grandstanding from MPs here and kind of pressure on them to host displaced families?
I think there is. It seems to me, I mean, first of all, look, if someone volunteers to take in a refugee fleeing war, good on them. You know, they've got my support. I pay tribute to them. But politically, I do think there is a little bit of virtue signalling going on. It's almost become a little bit like the new, look at me, I'm taking a picture of myself wearing a mask on an empty train, aren't I a good person type of thing. And I think we need to avoid that, actually. I don't think we need to make it the subject of political point scoring in that way. I think a bigger point that I would make, actually, is the whole question of international refugees and why suddenly there has been a very different approach to the Ukraine situation to the approach we take in other wars which are raging around the world at the moment. Now, you know, as I say, I pay tribute to anyone who takes in a Ukrainian refugee, and of course, we've got a history in this country of providing shelter to people who are fleeing war, and that's a proud history, and it's one that we should look to continue with. But I'm uncomfortable, to be honest, Deanna, about what I'm seeing as a little bit of a hierarchy of victimhood. There have been thousands and thousands of Kurdish refugees displaced over recent years. Nobody in Britain seems to be paying much attention to them or offering to take them into their homes. At the moment, there's a war raging in the Yemen, led by Saudi Arabia, our ally, ironically. And again, thousands of Yemeni people have been displaced, men, women and children. And there doesn't seem to be any scheme to give support or succour to those refugees. So I understand that this war is taking place in Europe. But at the end of the day, it doesn't mean that people are suffering any more than they are in those other wars. And I would like to see a little bit of consistency on this. I think, you know, we need to look at the big picture and understand that there are refugees all across the world, and perhaps they all deserve our support.